let me congratulate all the wonderful teachers, educators, and students. A very happy Adarsh Teachers Divas. You are the creator, you are the nation builders. And thank you very much for your commitment for strengthening our vision to empower the nation through education, for turning the potential of our youth into reality. We are proud to have you with us. We are proud that India is having wonderful teachers like you all. On Teachers' Day, talking about new education policy, it is indeed a pleasure. We are thankful to our Honorable Prime Minister and very dynamic, wonderful Minister of Education, Dr. Pokhriyalji, that after 34 years, they dared to bring a new education policy, a policy which is required today, a policy which is meant for today's world. A historical correction has been done in this education policy, if I can say so, because that correction is that now we consider education as a mean of knowledge-centering attribute and competency, rather than a matter of turning humans into resources. And that's why this name has also been changed from Human Resource to Education Ministry. All other details, definitely they had been discussed wonderfully by right from Vinay Rawat to General Chandra to Dr. Poonam Devdutt by raising very valid and relevant questions. You know, when I talk about this development of human, so it reminds me of a story which I must have mentioned earlier also, but as audience may be different. And I found it very relevant in lieu of this new education policy. I would like to quote that. Some time back, I was reading a book, Teacher and Child. It is a book written by Dr. Him Genoth. And Dr. Him Genoth was a survivor of Nazi concentration camp. After that, he went to Israel, he became a teacher. And what he writes, I quote, I am a survivor of a concentration camp. My eyes saw what no person should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers, children poisoned by educated physicians, infants killed by trained nurses, women and babies shot by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is, help your children become human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, or educated inchmen. Reading, writing, and arithmetics are important only if they serve to make our children more human, unquote. And what actually the human education was doing, that education was developing a mechanical human resource without all those attributes what a good human being has to have. I'm happy that new education policy is talking about it for developing human, talking about all those attributes what are required. I will not go in the nitty-gritties that 6% GDP has been committed to be for education, or gross enrollment ratio has to be 50%, or multidisciplinary approach will be there, mother tongue will be given a lot of importance, 3-language formula will be there, and some very important and interesting aspects are there. One is multi-entry, multi-exit mode. In a country like India, where we have more than 600 million youth, why it is very important for me? If I can mention, and you will appreciate, that in Shobhit University, we have a scheme called Earn While You Learn. But actually, that scheme is only for our own students. That those who are with us, they can spend some time on different projects, different duties, assignments given by the university department, and they can earn some money. But in total, if we look the scenario, the national scenario, there are many people around, those who cannot afford to go to the university because they know that once they will enter to the university, their commitment will be to 3 to 4 years. And those 3 to 4 years, they cannot earn. So this multi-entry, multi-exit, what has been introduced here, it will give an opportunity to a lot of our youth to go to the universities and fulfill their dreams. How I look at this? I look at this particular point like, if I have enough money for a year, I can enter in. I can learn. I can complete 1 year, take a certificate, I go back and I use that knowledge to earn some more money. One, it will help me to earn. Two, it will give me an opportunity of application of what I have learned. Because what Professor Garg was mentioning, that many times what skills we have after 3 4 years when we enter to the market, they are obsolete because every skill has a shelf life. So now what will happen that you take a certificate, you go back, apply your knowledge, earn money as well as experience, then you can come back, study for 1 more year, go back again and do it. Secondly, how it will help, many times what happens that the students, they go to a particular stream, they decide, okay, no, peer pressure was there, family pressure was there, whatever was there. And they decide to go for something and later on they realize that this is not my cup of tea. Now that possibility is there with that multi-entry, multi-exit and a multidisciplinary approach, that they can go to other areas also, even to the different universities. This is what is the beauty of this education policy, which needs to be explored. And I wish that students, faculty members, those who are listening to us or those who may be listening to this video later on, they must understand and appreciate it. The second thing, what is knowledge actually for me? Knowledge is know what. Skill is know how. And attitude is know why. And ability of a person is synergy of knowledge, skill, and attitude. So new education policy is working in all these three areas, in knowledge, skill, and attitude. Know what, know how, and know why. And once it will be there, so definitely that a concern which many people speak about, employability of the youth, it will be addressed in a better way, I'm sure, for that. And this is what is the beauty of our education policy. Why it took 30 years or 34 years to have a new education policy? Many times when this was decided, a draft was there for many years that a new education policy will be coming. We had our own concerns. Like as a number of educationists are sitting here, they must have seen that in 68, Kothari Commission, when the first education policy, formal education policy came, many things were there which need to be addressed even now. And I'm happy that it has also been taken into consideration. It is not like that it has been left and all those consideration has been taken. And now this education policy is very inclusive indeed. It is not only inclusive in Indian ecosystem, it includes the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations also, about education, about youth development, about employment. All those sustainable goals have also been taken care in this new education policy, which makes it more international. In India, like Dr. Devdutt mentioned a very valid point that as mother tongue is not the base, so we do not think in our own language so that we do not have original ideas. This struggle even I have many times. When I speak in English, as now I'm speaking, maybe back of my mind is thinking in Hindi. And once the thought process is there, then it is translated, then it is coming out. A lot of mistakes may be there. I speak in a slow pace due to that. But this part had challenged us in our research. When we were talking about innovation, when we were talking about research, when every time our ministers, our system, our regulators, facilitators, they were talking about that why India is not in top 20, top 100, why our innovators or researchers are not Nobel laureates. Actually, this was the reason. And now it has been addressed. And once it has been addressed, we can expect that in coming 20-25 years, the complete scenario will change. And generally what happens when a policy comes, like I am speaking many times at many platforms on a new education policy. So generally what happens, that people ask how it will be implemented. Do you feel it will be implemented or not? Or is it implementable or not? We have to understand one thing, that education policy is a vision document. And this vision document has to be developed into execution slowly, and who will execute it? As General Chandra mentioned in his address, that it is our responsibility. It is not somebody will come from outside, an alien will come and he will address this. We have to address it. And I am happy that in Shobhit University, many initiatives which have been talked about in this new education policy, we are already working on that. We have addressed that. And for that, I should congratulate and compliment our wonderful team of academicians. Many things we are doing. There is a challenge again. Then when we say that a digital divide is there and how we will be able to implement this new policy, which is so much tech savvy, that how it will happen. If you remember, a few years back, when we were talking about computers, there was a politician who took a bell gari and went to the parliament with a computer. He said, "Ye bell bhi chalaoge kya computer se?" You know, it takes time to change the mindset, and I'm really happy in last few years what happened. In last few years, we had Digital India program. We had Startup India program. We had so many initiatives taken by our Honorable Prime Minister, a visionary man, that they are helping us today. Already many things have been sorted out, and more will be sorted out for sure in near future. This is my conviction, and I'm very confident about that. There is a Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy. What was the challenge we had actually? In our pedagogy, if we look at, we never realized that learning outcomes have to be there. New education policy talks about that. If I look at, like from remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, the highest one. If we look 3-4 years back, what we were doing, no university was knowing that learning outcomes have to be there. We were not talking that what are the learning outcomes from the course, what we are teaching. This new education policy speaks about that also. And I am sure that even today we are up to applying, we are thinking. in the universities, remembering, understanding, and applying. That application part should be there. But I am sure soon we will be analyzing what we have learned. Soon we will be evaluating, and soon we will be creating. This is what actually this nation requires. That when knowledge gives a reason, the outcome becomes creation of new things. As I always mention that in Shobhit University also I mention, and I always say that in the purpose of universities is creation of new knowledge, integration of that knowledge and application of that knowledge. That will happen, and I am sure that this new education policy will speak about that, is speaking about that, and once it will be implemented by all of us, by all 1,000+ universities, that change will come, and that change will be a positive, wonderful change, what we all require. What it will give to our youth? Somebody asked me this thing. A student asked me, sir, there are so many big words, jargons are there. What I will get out of it? If there is something for me? I said, this policy is talking about 6 C's, and I will end up with that. I wish that students or young people, those, or even teachers, or even myself, I learned these 6 C's during this lockdown period. Because when we all were sitting at home, so one day I was sitting and I was trying to find out what this corona has given me. So these 6 C's, they are very relevant in our new education policy also. So what this lockdown period gave me, initially curiosity came to me. Curiosity was there, what will happen? What is this corona all about? What is this pandemic? From where it came? What was the origin? What may be the reason? And once I knew about it, that courage came to me. And that courage was, okay, fine. It's a bacteria or a virus or fine. I can fight it. And from courage, compassion came. Compassion for those who were on the street, those who were trying to reach home, those who were not able to understand, those who were not having that curiosity or courage. And from that compassion, commitment came. Yes, we have to do something for them. We have to work for them. And that commitment was there when both the universities, Shobhit University Meerut and Shobhit University Gango, they decided to have quarantine centers on their own. 100-bed quarantine center in international hostel. Nobody have heard ever. But Shobhit University Meerut decided, okay, yes, we will make our best hostel a quarantine center, 100 bed. When there was a news that these sanitizers are not available, our Department of Biotechnology, Biomedical Engineering decided, okay, we will make it and we will distribute it freely. Yesterday, I was very happy to know more than 50,000 bottles have been distributed by the university free of cost to the society. So commitment came. And when commitment comes, collaboration comes. We started collaborating with people around those who had the same vision. And with collaboration, calmness came. So why I am mentioning all these at this platform where we are talking about new education policy, actually this new education policy is trying to integrate all these 6 C's in our life also. It is not only theoretical part you will be having, you will have curiosity that will be developed in the classrooms, you will have courage, compassion, commitment, collaboration, and calmness. This is what it is. And what institutions and universities have to do. Honorable Prime Minister was speaking recently, and when somebody asked that during these tough times, what has to be there, what is the mantra of success? And I believe that mantra of success will be there with this new education policy also. So he said in English language, there are 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. So he said A is adaptability. We have to adapt to the new systems. With this new education policy, to implement it, to make it successful, universities, institutions, higher education institutions, schools, they have to adopt the new change. They have to change the mindset because new technology will come, but mindset, mentality has to come from within. E is efficiency. We have to increase our efficiency. Efficiency to work the way the world is working. I is inclusivity. Multidisciplinary approach has to be there. Inclusivity has to be there. O is opportunity. That every educational institution has to find new opportunities to work, new areas to work. And once that will be there, then only we will be able to achieve and fulfill the vision of Honorable Prime Minister and our Honorable Minister, that what new education policy aspires to give us. And U is universalization. What international approach we were talking, that it talks about universalization. We have to have that universal approach. It is not only Steady India program, it is a program where knowledge from India goes to the world again. जो विश्व गुरु हम लोग थे, गुरु अभी भी है, खाली विश्व कहीं मिसिंग हो गया है. वो विश्व गुरु दोबारा से हम कैसे बने, इस पे हमें काम करना है. Honorable Minister was with us last month in one of the program. तो यही एक बात आ रही थी कि दोबारा से हम लोग उस गौरव को कैसे प्राप्त करें जो गौरव था विश्व गुरु होने का. और जब हम विश्व गुरु थे तो हम सोने की चिड़िया भी तभी थे, तभी हम आत्मनिर्भर भी थे, तभी हम इकोनॉमिकल बहुत स्ट्रांग थे, हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था भी अच्छी थी. ऐसा नहीं था कि हम सोने की चिड़िया थे इसलिए विश्व गुरु थे, क्योंकि हम ज्ञान का भंडार थे, हम विश्व गुरु थे, इसलिए हम हर चीजों में सबसे आगे थे. तो आई विश एवरीबडी that this new education policy will give all the gurus an opportunity to prove themselves more. And I'm thankful to IQAC, Dr. Neeraj Singhal and IQAC that you have conducted this program. We should have more frequent programs with a focus on one point each time, because this document is not only a 30+ page document. This is a vision document, which is the future of India. So thank you very much, everybody, and wish you all again a very happy Adarsh Shikshak Divas. Thank you. God bless us all. Namaste.